Okay, so in this video, we're going to be talking about how to find the equation of the line, and that is when they give you a point and the slope of a line. Now, we're going to do this two different ways. The first way that we're going to do it, we're going to use slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. Okay, this is one way in which you can find the equation of the line if you're given a point and the slope. Now, the other way is to use point-slope form. Now, point-slope form is going to be y minus y1 equal to your slope, and then in parentheses, you're going to have x minus x1. Now, when you're using point-slope form, it's important to understand that this y and this x are going to be unchanging. It's going to be your x1 and your y1 that you're plugging that point into. In this case here, it's going to be right here, 3 and 8, okay? So we're going to do this two different ways, and hopefully you can determine which way you want to do it, because it's not a right or wrong way to do it. I will just say that typically you do use slope-intercept form right here more often than you use point-slope form. But point-slope form definitely has its uses, and it can be a little bit easier sometimes to put something in point-slope form rather than slope-intercept form. But again, it's totally up to you how you want to do these problems, so let's get right into it. So just going to go ahead and get rid of all this stuff here. So just deleting it all, and let's try and do this using slope-intercept form. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to divide this up so that we know that we're going to do this two different times to get the same exact answer, all right? So the first way, we're going to use slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. Okay, so all we have to do here is plug in the different parts into this equation here, slope-intercept form. Now we have 3 and 8. That is going to be x and y. So this is x and this is y. And we have our slope, which is 2. That's going to be m. So all we have to do is plug it in and solve for b. So for example, my y here is going to be 8. I'm just getting it from this point right here, right? So my y is going to be 8. So I'm going to put 8 equal to my slope, which is 2. That's my m. So 2. And then my x is 3. Okay? And then plus b. And from here, it's just a simple equation, right? You're going to do 8 equal to 2 times 3. That's going to give you 6. And then plus b. Solving for b, I have to minus 6 on both sides, right? So just going ahead and doing that. This will cancel. I get 8 minus 6, I get 2. Meaning b is equal to 2. So putting it all together now, remember, they want the equation. We're going to put y equals, your slope was 2, plugging that into m, and then x. And notice here that my y and x are unchanging here, right? I'm just putting it in as y and x. And then plus my b, which is 2, so plus 2. Here's the equation of the line that passes through the point 3, 8 and has a slope of 2, okay? So again, if you were to graph this line, it'd be passing through that point, and it does have a slope of 2. Now, what happens if you use point-slope form? Well, that's going to be y minus y1 equal to your slope, and then x minus x1. Okay, so we talked about this at the beginning. It is going to be the y1 and the x1 in which I'm plugging in this point, 3, 8. So I'm going to rewrite y minus, now what's your y1? Well, it's going to be 8. Okay, equal to, now what's your m? Well, that's 2. And then x, again, not changing. And then x1 is going to be this 3 right here, so minus 3. So from here, we just have to rearrange it so it says y equals. So my first step, take this 2 and distribute inside. So now I have y minus 8 equal to 2x minus 6. And now I have one more step. I have to take this negative 8 and add it. That is the opposite operation, right? So this will cancel. Here I get y equals 2x. And then negative 6 plus 8 will give you positive 2. So you can see here we get the same exact thing, right? And so it's totally up to you how you want to do these problems. It's not a right or wrong way. It's just how you want to do them. All right, let's go ahead and try some more problems. Okay, so here's our last problem, and you can see that it's not actually asking us to find the equation of the line. Rather, it's asking us to find the slope of the line. Now, they still do give you a point, and you can see that that point is right here. Okay, 3, 4. But this time they're going to be giving you the y-intercept, which is going to be 9. They're not actually giving you the slope because that's what they want you to find. So let's go ahead and plug this in and figure out how we're going to get the slope of the line. So what you want to do is write out slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b, right? And we're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to write out point slope form, which is y minus y1 equal to mx minus x1. All right, nothing is changing so far. But when I go to plug it into slope-intercept form, remember the goal is to find m now, okay? So what do I need to do? Well, I need to plug in my x and y values, and I need to plug in my y-intercept, which is going to be b. Remember, this part right here, this 9 is your b, okay? And this is going to be x comma y. So plugging it in, right, my y is going to be 4 equal to, I don't know what my slope is, so m. And then I have x, which is going to be 3. And then plus b, well, that's my 9. So plus 9. So all we're going to do is solve for m now. So now I have 4 equal to m times 3, 3m, and then plus 9. Let's move this 9 over, so minus 9, okay? This will cancel. I end up with negative 5 here, equal to 3m. My last step is to divide both sides by 3, and that means my slope is going to be m is equal to negative 5 all over 3, okay? And there it is. Now again, they don't want the equation of the line, they just want the slope, so we're going to leave it like that. Now, how would you do this if you had point slope form? Because it's a little bit different. Notice on point slope form, okay, they don't give you a y-intercept value to plug in. So what do I need to do here? Well, they do give me a point, so let's go ahead and start plugging that stuff in. So I'm going to have here y minus, well, my y1 is going to be 4, equal to my slope, which I don't know, and then x, and then my x1 is going to be 3, so minus 3. Now, look what happens here. You run into an issue because I have too many variables here. I have a y variable, I have a m variable, which is my slope, I have an x variable. So how do I solve for slope if I have two other unknown variables such as x and y? And so this one's not as obvious, but if you can remember what the y-intercept is, that's simply where it's crossing the y-axis. So if I go up here and I look at my y-intercept, that means if my y-intercept is 9, that's a point. It's going to be 0, 9. Because we know whenever it crosses the y-axis, the x value will always be 0. So in other words, this y-intercept is going to be 0, 9. Meaning this is another point that I can plug in, and I'm going to plug that right into y and x, and then I can solve for m. So just continuing on with this problem, let's go ahead and get rid of this stuff here. So we determined that we're going to use the point 0, 9, and again, that's x, y. So this y right here, I'm going to plug in 9. 9 minus 4 equal to my slope, which I don't know yet. My x is going to be 0. 0 minus 3. Let's go ahead and solve it now. So now I have 9 minus 4, which is going to give me 5. Then let's go ahead and clean this up in here. I'll have m times 0 minus 3 is negative 3, right? So we're left with 5 equal to negative 3m. And here we go. If I divide both sides by negative 3, I get the same thing. I get m is equal to 5 all over 3, and it will be negative, right? And there it is. You can see that we get the same exact thing. So that's how it would look if you were to plug it into point slope form. Again, either way is fine. So it's good to be proficient in both. Okay, so that is finding the equation of the line given a slope and a point. I hope that you found this video useful. If you gained anything from it or the video helped you, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure you subscribe so you get more math videos in the future, and I'll see you in the next one.